People's Kitchen has been here for about 40 years next year. We own this building, we get no government funding whatsoever. We run entirely on volunteers. We've got a workforce of about 300 volunteers, and every single day we prepare between 250 and 300 meals for our friends. Our friends is what we call our client group. So this is our lounge where our friends will come tonight. In here people can come and watch television, they can read a book, they can take a book, they can take jigsaws, they can look at some of our self-help leaflets, videos, anything that's been donated, we just give back out to our friends so they can come and take that. Our welfare volunteers will spend time on one-to-one with friends, signposting them to whether it's medical attention, banking attention, advice for whatever they need. We don't fix anything, we know that. We're a bit of a sticky plaster, but we work with our partners across the region just to make sure that we can try and just help our friends do whatever it is that they need doing. We have showers, people can come in and get showers, a change of clothing, use the bathroom, there's even a hairdryer here, because if you are on the streets, you sometimes don't have access to these things, so people can come in. We open 365 days of the year. We open Monday to Friday, half past 6 till 8:30 at night, and then Saturday and Sunday it's more of a brunch, so it's 9:30 till 11:30. We're open Christmas Day, we're open New Year's Day, every single day somebody is here. We work a bit like a restaurant in that we need a certain number of volunteers to be here to open safely, to make sure that we're safe for our friends and for our volunteers. So we're always recruiting for new volunteers to make sure that you come in and commit to a shift. But if we don't have enough volunteers to open, which is very rare, but we'll still always feed people, just sometimes it's a takeaway service. But 9 times out of 10 we've always got enough volunteers to do that. So this is the main kitchen, it's a fabulous building. We can sit about 120 people at any one time, but obviously we do about 250 meals every night, so people are coming and going throughout the night. Every single day we do a 3-course meal, so today is vegetable soup, homemade vegetable soup, pork with a cream sauce, vegetable, mac and cheese, and fruit crumble and custard. We always try, especially in the winter, to make sure it's nice, warm, wholesome food. There's always a vegetarian option, which goes down quite well. At the minute, we see over there, we've got our Christmas countdown to Christmas. We have a live advent calendar, so you and I will have an advent calendar at home. Not everybody's got them, but every single time that they leave the kitchen throughout Advent, they get a sweet treat as they leave. So tonight is the Smarty Night, so each day is sponsored by a different business or school in the area, and that goes towards covering the cost of what we give out to our friends. Try and set things up on the table so that it's like going into restaurants. You've got your condiments, you've got your cutlery, you've got your bread and butter, everything that you want to have with your food. We have a piano here, which by tonight will be cleared. A lot of our friends are really good at playing the piano, and if they've had a good day, they come in and play beautifully, and it's wonderful. If people have not had such a good day, maybe it's not quite as nice, but they come and do it anyway, which is still nice for them to hear, and we usually have a bit of a sing-along. This area here is our corner shop. It doesn't look very inviting at the minute, but throughout the day our drivers are out in the community and they'll be collecting things from supermarkets that you and I maybe will donate when you're in there, and that's what happens if we get it. They're starting to stock that up now, so we will get those things in, and then tonight our friends will come along and can in effect go to the shop and choose what it is that they want. So we provide food parcels once a week and toiletry parcels once a month, but that's what we're making up and giving out, and this gives people more choice and they can come along. So we always include in here sanitary products, dog and cat food, and then anything else we get. So if somebody's been generous enough and come donates us some food, but it's different to what we normally use and we can't necessarily use it for 300 people, we might well put it in the corner shop so people can come along and just choose and have that, which is it restores a bit of pride, and also some people are trying themselves to really sort of cook themselves so they get some choice of what's here. This empty casket here will be filled tonight, courtesy of Greg's, who about 3-4 times a week we go and pick up anything that maybe is not going to sell by about 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then we get it and then we give it out, which usually goes down really well. So we have 2 warehouses. We have a massive one down by the arena, which is where things like our Harvest Festival donations go to, and if we get any big corporate donations, they tend to go down there. And this is our working warehouse, which is basically just like your kitchen. It's just a really big cupboard. So we have all of our condiments, salt, pepper, tea, coffee, all that sort of stuff down here. Fridges. We work on a monthly rolling programme for the food that we provide, so we cook with a different meat every day, fresh vegetables whenever we can. Some of them come out of our allotment that our volunteers do as well. And we use pasta once a week, maximum. Pasta obviously is the cheapest thing to cook with, so we try not to cook with that because that might be the things that some of our friends are cooking for themselves. We try and do a bit more complex food if we can. That sometimes depends on what volunteers we've got in, but our cooks are really, really good, and that they set the menu once a month so we can make sure we've either ordered the food in or we get the appropriate donations in. If we get something like this, which is just spare fruit and veg that's just been donated, anybody can just take that and add to something. So, for example, if somebody suddenly donated us a big pack of bananas one day, but they're not going to last more than 2 days, we probably very quickly change the menu and suddenly do banoffee pie. So we try and just work around what we've got in, whilst making sure we provide just a really good quality food for our friends. What you're seeing here at the minute is it probably looks a little bit like organised chaos, because that's exactly what it is, because we are obviously in the midst of Christmas celebrations, festive celebrations, and so we get maybe a lot more donations, and some of the schools have been really, really generous. Some of the children have been out singing in the Granger Market or collecting things in their own nativity plays, and we've got some really fabulous donations from schools, everything from helping to sponsor one of the days, to putting up little packs with £5 breaks tokens in them, and buying knitted scarves and making. Some of the schools have just done some fabulous handmade cards that we will give out to our friends on Christmas Day, which is we are super grateful for. Through in here is our clothing store. This probably looks, and actually does look, really, really well stocked at the minute. So you might think, well, we don't need to donate anything for that. But these shoes here, I can guarantee if you come back next week, they'll be gone. We ask that one of the best things people can ever donate to us is used trainers, because if we have to spend any of the money that we have donated on clothing or on trainers, we'll go to Primark or something like that and just stock up, so they don't last particularly a huge amount of time. Whereas if you are snobby a bit like me and you're a runner and you run a couple of 100 miles in your trainers and then you want a new pair, they've still got loads of tread in them left, and so a lot of our friends are walking a long time, they're on their feet a long time, so good quality trainers, stick them in the washing machine, tie them in the boat and give them to us, and they will just be really, really useful. If you or I get our feet wet, or if something happens or it's snowing or whatever, you can come and put your trainers next to the radiator or in the tumble dryer. Not everybody's got that option, and you need dry footwear, otherwise you get foot rot. So we go through trainers like you wouldn't believe, so please donate. Any clothing donation we get, though, we just turn around and give back out. I think I said earlier we are entirely volunteer led, so we have some of our volunteers that are clothing elves, that they manage this store and they do a fabulous job. But if people donate things that maybe aren't clean, we can't use them, we don't have the facility to do that, so we do ask the public to just bear in mind, one, if you wouldn't wear it, don't give it to us, because nobody else wants to wear it. Ideally, things need to be waterproof. We've had people donate ball gowns and sparkly shoes and fur coats, which are lovely, but I think people think sometimes we have a shop so we can sell them, but we don't, we're just giving it back out. So bear in mind that we're giving clothes out for people to potentially wear that are on the street, so waterproof stuff is perfect. We're an adult only charity, so we just accept adult only things though. So at the minute, obviously we're doing sizes, we're in winter wear. Next year we'll be looking for shorts and t-shirts and things like that, and sun cream, but at the minute, things like belts, hats, scarves, gloves, underwear in terms of ordinary socks, not necessarily thick woolly socks, but just ordinary socks. We go through a lot, so anything like that would be much appreciated. When our welfare volunteers speak to our friends, if I go back, if somebody just presents on one night and they are just drenched and they've got nothing else, we can give them emergency clothing, just whatever we happen to have to hand. But actually our welfare volunteers will then speak to people and work out what they really need. And it's not quite as glamorous as putting in a next order, but they will sit and work out whether people need hoodies or underwear or joggers or what it is that they need. And we will put them up a a shopping bag, if you like, of clothing that they've requested, and then we just put them there and either give people a ring if they've left us their number, or we usually tell people it'll take 2 or 3 days to get it and you can come back, and that's what they inform people, just come and collect that. Some people forget to collect it, so it goes back into store after 2 weeks. We don't take details of people, so we don't have any database issues or anything like that. The only time we ever take a number off somebody is if they've asked us to put a pack up for them. If you squeeze it down here, but this is it's always a bit cramped around here. I got this, sorry Jen, I'm just explain what we're doing here.
Fine, yeah.
So in here, this is our Make a House a Home store, and what we do with it here is we found that a lot of our friends, or some of our friends, sorry, were able to get accommodation, moving off the street and into accommodation. But some of them were then not lasting and were moving back. And one of the reasons was that the members would be in accommodation, but they couldn't afford to sort of furnish it, other than maybe some really basics. So we have a Make a House a Home project where we provide a one-off, I suppose it's a bit like a student starter kit, but maybe it's with some cutlery, some crockery, some bedding, but it's new. We don't do lots of them. We'd love to do more, because if more people were getting housed, but we do it with friends that we've worked with, that we know, and then we put that all together, and Jen puts it all together, toweling, pots and pans, even a microwave maybe occasionally, just to help people make their house a home. And we found that seems to have a really positive impact on them. So once they've got the keys to wherever they're going to be going to next, they can come and get that pack from us, and we'll put them and their stuff in a taxi and take them to wherever that they're going. So that seems to go down really well. If then they're secure in accommodation and they want additional stuff later, then we will just work with whatever donations we get in. So sometimes we do ask for donations of duvets and things like that. But yeah, it's a really nice thing to do, and it goes down really well. This is our little store cupboard where we store our sleeping bags. We try really hard not to give sleeping bags out, because we kind of know that if we're giving a sleeping bag out, it's usually because somebody's planning to sleep on the streets, and obviously we do everything we can to try and get them housed. But we go through a lot of sleeping bags, so we always ask for sleeping bags to be donated. They need to be waterproof sleeping bags, just for the nature of it, and we go through a lot of them when we keep them. But we do, if we're giving somebody a sleeping bag, we're also giving them hand warmers, thermal things, anything to try and make that part of their life as bearable as possible. This is our toiletry store. So as I mentioned, we do a toiletry pack once a month for male and female. These are our emergency stock. So this will be if somebody just presents tonight or this afternoon, and if maybe just gone out of prison or just had to flee their home, or been burgled, whatever it is, it's like an emergency grab and go bag. But then on a monthly basis we will provide a full toiletry pack for people. And again, this is quite well stocked at the minute. We've had lots of really generous people donating things through Christmas. But you can see, one of the things that we do ask the public, if they ever do, when you go on holiday and you got those little hotels and you get these little miniatures that most people grab, stick in the back of their cupboards and then never ever use. We use them all the time, because if you're carrying your life on your back, you do not want a big family pack of shampoo, but you maybe will use one of these. So along with the trainers, miniatures are great for us. Obviously we get no government funding, as I've said, ad infinitum, so any money that's donated to us is really gratefully received. So Feed a Friend for £5, if you could donate onto that, fantastic. Or just generally go onto our fundraising page on our website, that would be brilliant. If you're interested in volunteering, that would be even better. We ask people to commit to a shift. A shift is usually about 4 hours, and it could be a day shift when we're not open for friends, but we do back office functions, so whether it be finance or admin or cook and prep or stores or driving or the allotment. A nighttime shift, which is a service shift, is not always for the faint-hearted, but it's great fun. And again, a 4 or 5 hours, about 4 hour shift. And we just ask people to join a team and to commit to come in every week. Apart from a bit of sickness and occasionally we give people a holiday, but you have to commit to a team, because like a restaurant, we have to have enough to work safely. So give us some money, give us some of your time. Most importantly, if you see people sat on the streets, or you see people that you're not sure about, it's just not to ignore them. Our friends tell us time and time again the worst thing in the world is to be just ignored. So it's uncomfortable for people, you're never sure how to do it, I know that, but look people in the eye and just give a big smile. Don't pretend you haven't got any money, just be civil, is the best gift in a way that you could give. Everybody's like money, but ultimately just make sure that you don't ignore people. That'd be great.